Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I'm so thankful, as always, to have you here for today's Pick a Card reading, and also welcome if you are new. So today we're going to be looking at the honest truth about your current situation, your current circumstances. So this can apply to anything. This could be in regards to a certain love situation. It could be just overall energetically what's going on with you, what's going on friend-wise, what's going on in your career. So hopefully you'll be able to apply whatever it is, because it probably will be different for everyone, but it is a similar energy pattern that can be applied either way. So there will also be an extended reading where we are going to go specifically into and looking like an overview of your current love life or your current love situation. So it's meant to give you kind of a broader view of what themes are going on and what you need to know. So I will have that link down below for those of you that are interested after you hear the first part. So we have 3 piles as usual. For pile number 1, we have the Mystic Mondays Tarot with this rose quartz crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Astromatrix Tarot with this orange calcite. For pile number 3, we have the LightSeer Tarot with the green fluorite. So go ahead and choose whatever pile you feel most drawn to. You guys, sorry, my dog is making some noise in the background right now, but go ahead and pick whatever pile you're feeling drawn to. You may have more than one message, or there could be overlapping messages in some of the piles. So just listen to your intuition and listen to the piles that you feel called to listen to. I will have the decks listed down below, along with any other information that you might need to know about me. I'll have the timestamps linked down below and the extended readings. So I will see you at your pile. And yeah, that is what I have. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Mystic Mondays Tarot and this rose quartz point, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at what the truth of your current situation or circumstances are. So we're going to start off with some oracle cards, and then we'll clarify with tarot as we need to. So I'm just going to lay out the cards. Okay, so we have, I pulled quite a few. So we have the 1, we have spring, we have lantern fairy, a clear solution. We have the 7 of cups with Neptune and sacrifice. We have such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, coming home. We have investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. We have education. We have door to value in reverse. We have chop wood, the reverse position. And then we have the panther and the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. So I just want to make sure we got everything in view. Okay, perfect. So pile number 1, what is the truth of your current circumstances? There's a couple of themes that are coming through, but what stands out the most to me is the theme of some kind of a transition coming in your life where your horizons are going to be expanding. So you guys could be feeling a little bit confused about what your next step is, like what is either like what your next relationship is, who you're going to be in a relationship with, where a relationship is going to go, maybe about an opportunity in regards to work. So it could be different for everyone, but there's a feeling here of feeling like you're on the precipice of some kind of a change, but not knowing exactly what you're meant to let go of and what direction you're meant to head towards right now. So I am seeing that the way that this situation could I want to discuss like challenges and opportunities here. So certain challenging energy that you might be facing is this sense of seeing a situation or a person as in a light that is almost too good to be true. Like there could be some sort of specific idea you have in your mind, like you may really want a certain job or a certain person. And Spirit is saying that the truth of that is that there is possibly some sense of escapism when it comes to your desire for that. It's almost like you have two routes right here. I'm actually seeing three themes. So I feel like for some of you, it might be that you're needing to walk away from a current situation. And that could be because even though maybe you thought you wanted it, or like it just is appearing, because with Neptune here, this is about fantasy. It can be about, it's like the Seven of Cups, where you don't really know what a thing is going to be, right? So the Seven of Cups has all of these different opportunities in front of you and choices to make, right? And I feel like that is your current situation, is that you do have several doors in front of you, even if you don't see that, but you do. And I'm seeing because of that, this reading has several different aspects to it, right? So it feels like Spirit wants you to know that your current situation is in the nature of having several different potential routes you could go down. I feel like one of those routes where Spirit is encouraging you, and so this is meant to be guidance as well, Spirit is encouraging you to look at any area in your life that feels stagnant right now, or anything that just doesn't feel true to you. It doesn't feel right to you, and you feel like that on a heart level. So if there's any situation you feel stagnant in, for example, and a way that you're dealing with that is sort of escaping to another reality, right? So it could be that, or there could be a situation that you don't want to face right now head on. And so you maybe rather escape to some kind of a fantasy of what you want to happen in your life, or what you want to have happen next. And Spirit is saying to be aware of that, to be aware of anything right now that just seems like it's more of a dream to you than reality, something that seems like it maybe would solve all of your problems, or it's almost like there could even be like an addictive element to it. Like there's just a sense of escapism with one of those doors that I think you might be looking at right now. And I can't tell you which one it is, but what I can tell you is what to look out for and how to know. You'll know that one of those opportunities is that if you feel like you have this urge to put all of your eggs in one basket, like you maybe want to reorient your life, or you feel like there's this one opportunity, one person that it's like you want to put all of your energy into that, and you want to put all of your hope and expansion and happiness into it. Like there's a sense of maybe wanting to rush forward into something without really reading the fine print, or without knowing enough about that opportunity or about that person. And so there's a lot here around Spirit validating that the truth of your situation is that you are actually on the brink, though, of really exciting growth and expansion and change. And so it could be a restless feeling that you're having around not knowing exactly where you're supposed to go yet, right? But so Spirit's just saying the truth of your situation is that's what it's meant to feel like. And your best way of heading through this, what you're meant to be, what would be most beneficial to you, is to move a little bit cautiously as you move forward, as you make decisions right now, because Spirit's saying that more information is going to be coming to you about certain situations. So before you put a lot of investment into something, wait until you feel sure of what that's going to bring. Like it's important to not just kind of be hasty or make a quick decision hoping that it all just works out without knowing everything about that, or just feeling super overly confident about one opportunity or idea. Because there's also potential that the reality of the situation is not going to be the way that you have it right now painted in your mind. And I think and so it has, in a way, sort of a an energy of making sure it's like when we're a child, kind of. And it's not to say that like our childhood dreams are not worth following, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just getting that there could be certain like fantasies that you have right now that are less grounded in what the actual reality of it would look like. Like maybe you don't know that much about a certain person, but you just you like think that they're kind of gonna be this escape for you, or you think that they're gonna like be your 10 of cups or your happiness, right? Maybe there's just like a job that you feel like you're just definitely gonna get it, and once you get it, it's just gonna be so amazing. I'm getting that trying to jump to conclusions right now about what something is, or thinking in black and white with the one here, there's a real need to remember duality right now, and to remember that everything has the good and the bad within it. And so if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. And a way you can kind of ground yourself is to remind yourself that if you are feeling overly optimistic about a certain thing and it's hard to like ground yourself from that, remind yourself of maybe how much you don't know about the situation, or ask yourself, what do I still not know about the logistics of this situation? Yeah, I'm gonna get a sip of water, but I'll go into some examples. And I'm getting the example here of maybe thinking that a certain person is like the one for you, even with the one here. And maybe you don't know much about that person, or like what you do know about them paints a picture of them being more ideal than what it actually is. So maybe this person, like let's say you work with this person, and when you see them in that environment, they seem to be one way, but like what you haven't seen is the way that they are when they're in a relationship, right? And maybe the way that they are in a relationship isn't something that would make you happy, or isn't something that you would be as attracted to, or something that you want. So there's kind of an energy here, Spirit saying, yes, there is a new horizon for you right now. You are right about that, but be careful where your imagination takes you, and be careful about putting something on a pedestal, or getting super emotionally invested, getting really attached to a certain idea that might turn out to be something different than what you thought. So I feel like your current situation is that, you know, you're still in a position right now where you're discovering. So it's just almost a time to kind of make sure that you know that there's a balance between, like, when it comes like new exciting beginnings or things unfolding, right? Try not to get carried away with that, and to kind of make sure that you're tuned in with your intuition. Make sure that you're not ignoring certain logistics and situations. With education and investigate, look closely, and a clear solution, this card, all of these are pointing to the idea that there's a situation about you right now. It's going to be different for everyone, but it will be the situation that's taking up a lot of your attention right now. So it's something you're paying a lot of attention to, and it's likely the nature of it is something that you want to explore, right? Something you want to explore, or, you know, it may be that something else in your life is falling apart right now, or something else is shifting. And so there's this energy of what's next, right? And so there's one part of it where there's something you're focusing on that you want to be next, but you may not know exactly how you're going to get there. And it may be that there's still shifting and moving parts that are going to be important information for you on how to move forward, on what's the best path for you. So with a clear solution, this talks about if there's a situation about you that's confusing, like you feel like you can't see how to get through it, or you feel like you don't know what's going to make you the happiest. This card essentially is saying that by being open to new concepts, new ideas, and making sure that you're not acting from a place of preconceived notions or too rigid of thinking. Like, it could be that the solution or where you're meant to go next is something that you still need to learn more about. Or let me give you an example. So when I graduated from college, and I use this example a lot, like for me, I knew that there's like sort of this what next energy to it, right? And sometimes when I feel like I know a manifestation's coming in, or I know that I'm about to start something new, my human ego brain can start filling in the blank based on like my ego and what I think I want or what seems ideal to me. But then I step out of divine flow and I step out of the manifestation, right? Because when we manifest something, it's like the energy of something we're manifesting. And if we get too attached to a certain thing, thinking, oh, this is my manifestation, we can put a lot of weight into that and it could be the wrong thing, right? And so sometimes the very thing that we sense is coming, or something that we sense we know we want, we don't always know exactly what that is in reality. And so for me, for example, like I didn't know what I wanted my job to be. And I mean, I am here now and I love doing tarot, right? And so this is what I'm doing, but I didn't know about tarot. Like I didn't know, I didn't think I could ever see myself doing something like this. And so with this education card, it's this energy of recognizing that I don't know yet. It's about your current situation. It would be helpful for you to look at it where you know things are shifting, you know expansion is coming, but you still need more information, and that information is something you don't have right now. So it could be something that will really shift what you think you want, how you perceive a situation, how you perceive a certain job, you know? So it's important not to get locked down into something right now, or to put so much effort into something before you really learn more about it. And so the situation is that investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. It's likely that the thing you're going to want to move towards is something that you still need more information on. It may be that it's something unknown. It's something unexpected for you. It's something that it's not something you know. So to the ego's mind, it can be uncomfortable when that happens, because we just want to know already, like what our next relationship's going to be. We want to know where we're going to live next, all of these different things. And I feel like there's potential for you to get misled in this situation. There's a potential for other people to, maybe for you to, with the sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd, this talks about making sure that you're in the driver's seat of your life, making sure that you're very in tune with what feels right to you. Not like what feels right to your ego, but on a soul level, like, does this really resonate with me? Or do I have a feeling in my stomach that this isn't really real, or this isn't right, or there's something that I'm missing? And so it's super important that you're in tune with that sense right now, so you don't get deceived or you don't fall into some kind of an illusion. And it's possible that the next growth that has to happen in your life, it isn't, you may not have the roadmap for it. You may not know exactly how to navigate it yet. And so if you're trying to figure out like what it is without kind of letting it come to you and just taking things day by day and being present, that could run into some problems right now. And so the biggest message here is that your current situation is calling you to be teachable. It's calling you to hold a reality where you're open to new things, and you are open, right? Like you're open to figuring out new situations. It doesn't mean you're closed off or that you're afraid of certain things, or it doesn't mean, I wouldn't want you to walk away from this reading and go, oh, I need to be super guarded or I can't take any risks. It's more like taking measured risks and learning how to be in a state of openness while also being in tune with your intuition and being grounded within reality, so you don't get too carried away, if that makes sense. I'm also getting that and it's going to be different for everyone, but there is some kind of a cognitive bias. There's some kind of a way of going about things, like a structure. It could even be like a conditioning. The conditioning is what I'm getting. So you know how we all have conditioning that can be subconscious? Sorry, there's a siren going off outside. We can have conditioning where, because of what we've been told or something we experienced in the past, we may be just naturally closed off to certain things because we're trying to protect ourselves. But sometimes certain conditioning or certain beliefs, like values, it's good to have them open to shifting, so you're making sure that they are in alignment with who you're becoming, and that they're not keeping you restricted to certain ideas or to having a closed mindset for what could be next. And so it's about being open to exploring something unconventional for yourself, potentially. It doesn't have to be unconventional to society, but something that you maybe haven't thought of before. Something, it's like, I'm sensing that this next stage in your life, or whatever this next opportunity is supposed to be, it's something that is going to push you out of your comfort zone, and it may take you some time to get used to it. And so sometimes I feel like when we're dreaming of a certain reality, it can be something that we already know, right? And so it's like when we're trying to create a fantasy in our mind of what we want to happen in the future, we're actually using the past to create that. And I'm thinking of this Alan Watts quote where it's like, if you always knew what was going to happen in the future, you would just be living the past, because the past is the only thing that's ever really known to us is the past and the present. And so when it comes to the future, it's important to not just project a rerun of the past in like a different way, and to be open to new things, to new concepts, and trusting in spirit to give you the right information when you need it, and to kind of wait for a green light before you go to pursue something, or before you make a decision on what you want or where you're going to go, what you're going to do, who you're going to get involved with, things like that. And I also feel, though, that this is a time where instead of spending a lot of time in your mind fantasizing about something before you go after it, your current situation is pushing you to take actual action in the real world and to like learn about it. So for example, if it was a job, instead of spending a lot of time envisioning like how amazing your life would be once you're a doctor, and it's like, we've all seen Grey's Anatomy, and like that might be something influencing it, where we kind of have a fantasy of what we think things are going to be like. And so we're kind of disconnected from the reality of it. This is that chop wood in reverse. You're being encouraged to just take things step by step. And so if you do have something you're interested in, or something you desire, I feel like what would be good is to go ask other people that are in that same industry, and getting a real, like, shadowing them for a day and seeing what they do for a day. And that new information that you get could be something that gives you an epiphany about what you want or what you don't want, what feels right for you or what doesn't. And so there could even be certain preconceived notions you have about what you want or what feels right to you, but it's not true to you. And so I feel like it's important to be in the present moment and to be asking yourself step by step, is this new information I'm getting, as confusing as it is to deal with this nuance, to deal with this complexity in a situation, instead of just jumping all in and not seeing all of the situation, I'm going to take it step by step. And I'm going to, it's okay to have some hope for something, but I'm also going to be really realistic with myself about what it's like. And so it's like, also, if like you're going to go on a date with someone, and after the first few dates, you're like all in, and you're idolizing this person because you've seen what you've seen of them for the first 3 dates, and you've heard what they said to you. But then there could be another situation so let's say you get engaged to that person like really quickly or something, and then later on something else happens where if you would have stayed a little bit in this state more of, I'm not going to draw a conclusion yet, or I don't know yet, you would have been able to have more insight on what you would have done. And I feel like you would then be like, oh, I wish I didn't jump into this so quickly, or I wish I didn't sort of assume that this was one way when that was just kind of the way I was seeing it because of conditioning or what I thought I wanted, things like that. Yeah, I feel like that sums this up pretty clearly. I know it's kind of vague, but I just feel like each situation is going to be different for all of you. And I hope for some of you that it does make sense. But another disclaimer I want to say is that if a lot of you guys feel like you're in a situation right now that you feel like it isn't what you thought it was going to be. Like you maybe thought it was going to turn out to be differently, or it isn't turning into, it isn't the way that you dreamt about it, or isn't what you thought it was going to be. It's about being open to taking in that information and pivoting and getting rid of what isn't serving you, even if you thought in the past that it was going to, you know? So it's kind of like being open to seeing both sides of a situation. And if new information comes in, it's about letting that inform you, so you don't stay stuck in a situation where you're telling yourself it's one thing, but it actually is another thing. So for some of you guys maybe are more stuck in a certain situation where there may be a sense of denial about it, whether or not it's working for you. That could be a certain situation for some of you, but I feel like tarot will give us some more. So what is the truth of pile number one's current situation? Also, for the extended reading, we're going to be looking at what is the truth of your current love situation. So if you guys are more interested specifically in love, we're going to go more detailed into that for the extended. So whatever's going on, I'm just going to be looking at what you need to know about whatever dynamic it is. We're going to be looking at what is the dynamic in your love life and what guidance does Spirit have for you on it. What do you need to know about it? Going into it a little bit big picture, trying to make meaning out of what's going on right now. So it's meant to be more of a big picture too. All right, so for pile number one, Spirit, what truth, what do they need to hear right now about their current circumstances, their current situation? We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Moon. I'm also getting here with the Nine of Pentacles and the Door to Value. There may even be like a change in the way that you view your own value that shifts what you want. Like, because with the Nine of Pentacles here, I feel like you're being called to really stand in your power, in your independence, and to really feel confident that you know what you're worth, you know who you are. And so you feel sure when you're in a situation, whether or not something is reflecting your worth, something is serving you, and kind of just having that own sense of self, like, I know myself, I know I make the best decisions for myself, and so I can clearly see when something isn't for me. And yeah, that's what I'm getting. So we have the Moon here, which I'm not surprised to see, because there is a lot of, there's potentially a lot of confusion right now, or a lot of uncertainty. Like you can't see the way through really clearly. The truth is, relying on yourself right now and trusting that you know the right moves to make, even if everything externally is confusing, that's your best bet. What else for pile number one? We have the Four of Cups. We have the Emperor. Yeah, there's a lot here about you being in control of your life. It's about you being the director, you being the one that you are the best person to know what works for you. And so it's about trusting yourself, and especially if you feel like there's a situation around you where you almost feel like listening to that person or just following what someone else is telling you to do or what you should do in a situation. It's important right now to trust any feelings you have inside of you that something isn't actually right for you. And to be, there's a lot here about being brave as well. Being brave enough to challenge illusions, being brave enough to challenge what other people think you should do, what maybe your own conditioning tells you should do. And I'm seeing that the clear solution here is that I feel like the more that you get to know yourself and the more confident and brave you become in yourself, the more clear it's going to be what you need to do, or what, how to get through this situation, how to get to a sense of clarity of your direction. What else for pile number 1? We have the Queen of Wands. Can we clarify the Four of Cups here? We have the Lovers. And then the King of Swords at the back of the deck. Yeah, and so with the Queen of Wands here, I'm seeing that your own confidence in yourself and your vision for your life is the best driver. I just can't stop saying that enough. Because with the Lovers here, I do feel like you have choices to make. And for some of you, this could look like with the Four of Cups here, coming out of a situation where maybe you have been more complacent. Maybe you felt like a little bit bored or stagnant in life. And it's time for you to make a decision that honors yourself with the Lovers here. Despite whatever fears or uncertainties there are, it's like time to maybe be independent, to go off on your own. That's one way I'm seeing it. I'm also seeing like rejection is divine protection. So if you are making decisions that are right for your heart and you show up in a way that is honest to you, and like, let's say someone else doesn't resonate with that, don't second guess yourself or think that you did the wrong thing or that you made the wrong decision, because it's okay to choose one thing as long as it feels right to you, but you'll figure out really quickly if that was for you or if that was resonant with you. And I feel like it's important to not, out of fear, stay clinging on to some kind of a, like, let's say something isn't as available to you as you want it to be, or like with some of you that maybe feel like there's something you really want and you hope that it's for you, but like, let's say that it isn't, like it's not open to you right now. It's important to make the most loving decision for yourself and to stand in your power regardless, and to just make another decision and continue on your path. And to not think that when people don't agree with you, or that when people don't back you or want to be with you or accept you, it doesn't mean that you've made the wrong decision. And it also doesn't mean that you should now second guess yourself or listen to other people more than yourself. Yeah, so for some of you, I'm seeing it could be kind of flip-flop. There's some of you, I think, that maybe are going after certain things that you thought are for you, but then you kind of realize that they aren't. And then that might make you feel like you can't trust yourself to make decisions. Spirit's saying you definitely still can trust yourself to make decisions with the King of Swords. This is about confidence. And then for some of you, there also are some of you where I feel like you may be in a stagnant situation where you feel like other people have told you to be there, or other people, like, you don't know why you're not happy in it. Like, maybe you have every reason why you should be happy in it, but deep down you feel like it's wrong to you. And despite the fears of not knowing what's going to come next, regardless, it's important that you make the most loving decision for yourself, and you don't make decisions out of fear, or like just being afraid that you don't know what's going to happen, or being afraid that you're missing something. And with the King of Swords here, I just got like a download saying that you can trust what you know, is what I'm getting. So it's like, if you don't, it's important to not assume things right now. It's important that if you're already in a situation and you already know that it isn't going to turn into what you want it to be, don't fight what you know. Like, you can trust what you know, and you can trust that it would be better to move on from that. For others of you, if you only know so much about a certain situation, before you jump towards that, make sure that what you know is enough to feel confident for that, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense here. So the main themes are, I feel like you're going through a time period of learning how to make the decisions, learning how to go after what you want, learning how to trust what you want, and learning how to identify when a situation outside of you is not in alignment, and trusting that you are right to pivot away from that you can take that as a learning experience. So yeah, I'm kind of seeing two situations, or maybe it could even fluctuate, right? So this could even be like an overall theme where maybe some of you right now are in a dynamic that you thought was going to be something else. You maybe jumped into it too quickly thinking it was going to be something else, and now that it isn't, you maybe feel stuck in it or like confused about why you're not happy. And it's like, then it would go back to like what we just said in the beginning. Or some of you maybe are coming out of something and now you're exploring what your next avenue is going to be, and then you might be prone to doing that, like where you think something is exactly what you want or super in alignment with you, but deep down it isn't. And so it's about feeling your way through situations when you don't have all the information. It's about not jumping into things and being overly confident that what you know is enough. So I hope that makes sense. It's like, it's a flip-flop. This is really interesting because it's essentially the concept of trusting yourself, self-trust here, trusting yourself to make the right decisions for you. And Cohen, no, it's okay. Sorry, my dog is crying. And being confident through not knowing with the moon here, being confident that it doesn't mean anything about your validity. It doesn't mean, if you don't get answers right away, it doesn't mean that you're not onto something. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't keep exploring that. But it does mean that you should be conscious of whether or not you know enough about a situation to make a decision. So some of you might already know enough to make a decision about a certain situation, but you're not wanting to do that, or you're in denial about it. For some of you, you maybe don't know enough about a situation, but you want to think you do. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to take you to the extended now. We're going to be looking at your current love situation, whatever you need to know about it. So I will have that link down below. But I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope it resonated, and I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. If you did find that it resonated, it helps out my channel a lot if you're able to hit the like button. I appreciate your guys' feedback with comments as well. And if you want to see more videos from this channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Astromatrix Tarot with this orange calcite crystal, this is going to be your reading, where we're looking at the truth of your current circumstances, your current situation. So I've already pre-pulled some oracle cards, and I'm going to start with those, and then we'll clarify with tarot. So we have the stone, we have the fault line, we have lightning, we have peaks of joy. This came out in reverse. We have repopulation. Caring connection also came out in reverse. We have, I don't know, I think the pile got flipped upside down, but we have to the sea here in reverse, and we have loyal heart in reverse. And then we have the mildew fairy with cleanup time. Where do I want to put this? Okay, we'll go here. Okay, let me just make sure we got everything in view. Okay, so pile number 2, a very specific message is coming through for you guys. I feel like Spirit couldn't have been any more clear with the cards that I've pulled. And right before I was pulling your oracle cards, the song Yellow by Coldplay started coming out. And there is kind of a melancholy feeling here. But before I go into it, I was so shook. This is at the back of the deck here with yellowing. And so I thought that was a crazy synchronicity. So the truth of your guys' current situation is that things are not actually as good as you may be wanting to perceive them. So with the fault line here, this talks about how there's a current situation where no matter how optimistic you feel about it or good you feel about it. So this could be anything for you guys. This could be a relationship, a certain project, a job, anything, a friendship, whatever's comes to your mind when we're talking about something that you may be trying to only see the good in it, and maybe there's a sense that there could be something off with this situation, but I feel like a lot of you are wanting to push forward anyways, despite there being legitimate challenges or sort of red flags. So with the fault line, this talks about how things aren't as sturdy and reliable and committed as you think they are. And so there's a situation that is going to change soon. And that there's definitely a fissure or a crack in this situation that shouldn't be ignored. And with this stone here, this talks about a need to find solid ground and a need to kind of go back to basics and make sure that you are grounded in your approach right now to this situation. I'm seeing here with lightning, it gives the energy of feeling like you met the one and things are going really well, only to find that they are not looking for a serious relationship. With caring connections and loyal heart here, I feel like for a lot of you, this could be a certain relationship where you maybe want to see the best in this relationship, or you may just want to push it forward despite anything that you've seen that could be wrong with it. With repopulation here, this card talks about how it's this essence of looking down into a basket that you have, and it's like metaphorical for the people, the opportunities, the things in your life. And we all want to see shiny apples in this basket, but sometimes when you double check and look at your basket, there's nothing but rotten cores here. And there's a real need to do some damage control, or there's a really strong need in this situation to understand the constraints of this, to not push forward naively or to feel there's a need for a healthy sense of doubt here, because with connections and healthy connection, caring connection in reverse and loyal heart in reverse, I feel like it's possible that you're not on the same page as someone else in your life, and the differences that you have are so extreme that the relationship is likely not going to work. So don't take this message if you feel like you have a lot of stability in a relationship. I don't want to give you guys any stress. This is for those of you that maybe deep down in your gut know that things may not turn out how you want, but there's a part of you that just doesn't want to see that, or doesn't want to have to deal with the coming chaos, as we never do want that. With yellowing here, this talks about a warning, and it says that yellowing brings the truth, and it's also about transition. So the truth is there is some kind of a transition. There's an unexpected shift in the way that this situation is going to unfold. And it's important to not celebrate too early. It's important to make sure that you aren't giving your loyalty or putting your full faith in something that you aren't sure you can rely on. There's something in your life here where it's really important that you don't move forward with it right now and just kind of throw caution to the wind, because it's this situation where it feels like the boat's going to crash, and it's much better to prepare for that or to see that as a legitimate possibility, so it's not as devastating and there's less that has to be, so there isn't as much that's going to fall apart in a sense. And so with cleanup time, I'm seeing here that something that you don't want to happen, or something that And I don't want to scare you guys. I just feel like you would know what the situation is with this lightning card if you really want to see the good in it. Or it's like you maybe really want to see it as perfect. Or you want to ignore any... And look at this crack in the egg here. It's like this essence of wanting to hold on to something and like secure it with this snake here so it doesn't completely crack. But there's a crack in this situation that shouldn't be ignored. And it's important that you're aware of that you're assessing a situation honestly, and that you are able to see that if something in your life is not what it seems to be, that this is only clearing the way for a more loving connection or a more loving opportunity to come into your life. And it would be best right now to not rush forward. It would be good to make sure that you're spending the time you need to make sure that that the boat is ready. Let's say that the boat is a metaphor. It's like, imagine if this boat had a crack in it and we're just like, no, the boat is fine because we don't want to deal with it, or we don't want to take it to a shop. Maybe it's going to cost a lot of money. There's a lot of inconveniences. So we're like, no, this boat, I don't think it's going to be a problem that it has those cracks. And then you go out on this journey and the boat sinks. And it could be a really difficult situation. So it'd be much better to heed the warning of whatever cracks are in this situation. So I'm going to get a sip of water and then we'll go into tarot. For the extended reading, we are going to go deeper into what is the truth of your current love situation. I feel like a lot of you, this might be a love situation or some other kind of a relationship or opportunity, or even some kind of an investment. We're going to go deeper into it. So we'll kind of get more information on that for those of you that are relating to this as a relationship. We're going to be looking at what you need to know about it, what you don't see about it, and getting you a lot of guidance on what you need to know about your love life. And so for those of you also that this isn't about your love life here, if you guys wanted it to be more about your love life, we are going to do that in the extended. And hopefully we can get more specifics there. And I just heard what goes up must come down. So yeah, just beware of anything that feels too good to be true, or yeah. All right. What is the truth of pile number 2's current situation? We have the devil. All right, I'm going to have to... I'm not surprised to see the devil here. Let's put this down. What is the truth of pile number 2's current situation? We have the 10 of Cups. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. We have oh my gosh, my dog is hunting flies. Whenever there's a fly, he really feels like he needs to get it. So we have Judgment. What is the truth of pile number 2's current situation? We have the 2 of Wands, and then we also have the 4 of Cups. And then the 5 of Wands at the back of the deck. Okay, so I'm getting here that there may be a relationship specifically that you feel like is this 10 of Cups energy, but I feel like instead there's going to be a rude awakening that this is much more of a toxic situation, or it could be something that's codependent, or that a person doesn't have your best intentions in mind, or that someone's kind of entrapping you. I just feel like things aren't as harmonious or well aligned as you may think right now. Somewhat of a similar message coming through in pile number 1, so I don't know if this is just what's going on in the collective, but with Judgment here, this talks about a need for truth and a need to be honest about what it's just a card of honesty. It's a card where you're going to look at a situation and you're going to make sure that your thought processes, your values are a representation of truth along with another person. So it's like it's this assessment moment where it's like, is this actually, what is the truth of the situation? You know, and so I feel like there is some truth that's going to be resurrected or uncovered that is going to completely derail what you thought the future of this is going to be. Can we get more information on Judgment? We have the King of Cups here. Can we get one more? We also have the Four of Wands. Yeah, so this could be someone that they may be somewhat emotionally manipulative, or this person could not be showing you their true feelings or intentions. This could even be, I don't know, someone you want to marry or someone that you're hoping to have a home with or a foundation with. Let me see, why is the Devil here? Yeah, it's Page of Swords. I feel like you're going to find something out that's going to make you see that this is not what you thought it was. What is this information, Spirit? What can you clarify this Page of Swords? Yeah, we have Justice here. There could just be some kind of an imbalance here, or it could be that someone's intentions towards you are not fair. You know, they may not be, there could be a person that is using you, or someone that just doesn't have good intentions in mind. Why is the Nine of Pentacles here reversed? We have the Fool here. I feel like with the Fool, it's like you might just want to jump right into something. But it could be that this person isn't who you think they are, or that it's possible that they're not as well off. They may be someone who's more of like a user, or like someone who wants you for, this person may really want to like depend on you. Can we get one more for that with the Fool? We have the Three of Wands here. I just feel like whatever you're expecting to come in, you may want this new beginning, or this new, like, you may want some sort of future plan to work out, but I feel like, why is the Four of Cups here? We have the Queen of Wands in reverse, and we have the Tower. Yeah, I sense a Tower moment coming where you may realize that this person isn't interested in a future, or it's like they're not interested. They may reject you in some capacity, and they may just be someone with the Queen of Wands that's more like aggressive, or more less confident than you think. Like, I feel like there's just this feeling of like, oh my gosh, I did not think you were like that. I didn't think you were this kind of person. Why is the Ten of Cups here? Yeah, Five of Pentacles. I feel like instead of the Ten of Cups, instead of a plan forward, you're going to be feeling a sense of loss, a sense of abandonment. So sorry, this is a difficult message, you guys, but I feel like this person's feelings for you aren't coming from a place of true love. I feel like they're coming from a sense of dependency, or like a vampire kind of energy. Why is the Two of Wands here? I feel like you're going to be at odds with this person. There could even be some kind of a fight or like some sort of chaos that breaks out here. We have the Four of Swords, yeah. And so I feel like you're going to be left trying to put the pieces together and figure out what happened. Yeah, I feel like Seven of Wands. I feel like there's going to be a very defensive energy here. Can we clarify what the energy of this Queen of Wands in reverse is? Like, you may be taking, we have the King of Wands here. Yeah, you might think that this person is your perfect counterpart, or like you might see them as, I just feel like there's this energy of thinking that you're on the same page with this person, but they're in a reversed low vibrational energy. And then we have the King of Wands, which is, like, this person could be demanding. This person could be emotionally manipulative. They could be, I'm just getting this sense that you guys don't have the same vision. Yeah, and with the Temperance that we're in reverse here, this person could be more unstable or temperamental. Can we clarify the Five of Wands? We have this Star in reverse. Yeah, I think what you need to know is that in this situation, I don't think you're on the same page with this person for what you guys want for the future. With the High Priestess in reverse here, yeah, it's like I feel like you're not seeing this intuitively, or it may be that you're not listening to your intuition about this, but with the Six of Pentacles, they could want something from you as well. But yeah, there's a strong sense that you think this is like a high quality opportunity that's going to bring a lot of happiness and connection and stability, but I feel like you're going to be waiting. And I feel like I see you being open arms, just so excited and like putting this plan out there, and then this person completely disappointing you and not being what you thought. Yeah. Okay. So I want to get a little bit more clarity about this. Can we clarify this energy, Spirit, please? Or they might even be like rude or dismissive to you when you're expecting to have to start a journey with this person or to start a new opportunity. Like, I just feel like there's some kind of a rejection coming and a sense of abandonment. And realizing that this wasn't a fair situation, this person didn't plan on honoring you. And it's like, if you keep pushing forward, I feel like that's when this Tower moment's going to happen. We have movement in reverse here too. It's like, you're not going to be able to move forward. Things are not going to progress in the way you expect. Can we get some clarity on this opportunity person, what the underlying dynamic is? Yeah, we have Queen in reverse. So it says becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. That's what I was getting, is like this person might be demanding, or like, let's say that you thought you're going to have a more cooperative situation with this person. I feel like if you go against them, like they're going to like, I heard code switch, or it's like when a person, I feel like this person's going to have a mask drop, where I feel like this person is not cooperative. I think this is someone who's very my way or the highway, and they may want to control you. Can we get some more information on this person? Or it's like a boss, like a job opportunity. Yeah, we have tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. Yeah, I feel like this is a crappy situation. Like, I feel like this person wants to manipulate and wants to take advantage here. And then we also have child eternal, inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Yeah. So I was getting this person may want to depend on you, or it's like they may want you to like, you might think this person's empowered, and it's going to be like Ten of Pentacles, where you guys are both independent people bringing in positive energy, but I'm getting like a Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands in reverse energy from this person, where it's like this person's actually a lot less mature and self-sufficient. They may like almost be demanding of what they expect out of a person. Yeah. Extreme, yeah, for physical security. That's so interesting. Can we get one more for this person's energy? We have fear of intimate union with Virgin here. Yeah, and so this person may actually be we have slave at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I feel like this is someone who's just not as emotionally mature, not open to this relationship. And I feel like that's going to become obvious to you when they're not willing to have a vulnerable relationship with you. I feel like this person is more immature than you think. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. That's what I'm getting here, you guys. So I'm going to take it into the extended now. We're going to get more details into this. If this is a love situation, we're going to really go deeper into that, what you need to know about it, what you're not seeing about this person, and guidance from spirit on how to move forward. So if you guys are interested in that, I will have that linked underneath the timestamps in the description box. Other than that, I hope this was helpful, and please only take this message if you resonate. If you found it helpful, if you can hit the like button, leave a comment. I appreciate your guys' feedback. And if you want to see more readings from this channel, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss the future pick a card readings. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Yeah, and sorry, we also have exchanging gifts. It's like this person doesn't want a reciprocal relationship with you. Like, yeah. Okay. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the LightSeer Tarot and this green fluorite crystal, this is your reading where we're going to be looking at what is the truth of your current situation, your current circumstances, what do you need to hear about them, and this is meant to just give you guidance on how to best navigate whatever situation feels prominent to you. So I feel like for some of you, this could be in regards to love. It could be in regards to your purpose, career, self-development, anything like that. It could be different for everyone. So I've already pre-pulled some oracle cards. We're going to lay those out, and then we are going to clarify with tarot. Also, right now, it is nighttime. I usually film during the day, so the lighting is a little bit more dim. So hopefully that isn't an issue for you guys. So we have the Flame. We have the New Pearl. We have the Chariot with Jupiter return benefits. We have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. We have Round and Round. We have Sacred Pool. We have the Golden Palace. And then we also have the Sea Serpent here. Okay, I just want to make sure everything is in view. Move it a little bit this way. Okay, so pile number 3. What I'm seeing here for your guys' current energy or the energy of your current circumstances, I'm seeing that you guys may be feeling a little bit discouraged right now when it comes to your abundance, when it comes to feeling like you're making progress, or it may be this sense of like, why are things feeling so difficult? Or it might even be like you guys have been on a journey in some way where you guys have made progress, but it feels like maybe something has happened recently. It doesn't have to be that, or it could just be that you're feeling a little bit lost or feeling like your progress is like things aren't going right for you, or you guys just may be feeling like you're having a hard time not judging yourself. Maybe it's a hard time for you to feel confident and good about who you are, the decisions you've been making. Essentially, this pile, it feels like it has a lot to do with how you are feeling about your own life and your own progress. And I'm seeing with the round and round here that some of you might be feeling like something has happened, some sort of frustrating situation, maybe having made a mistake, maybe having, you may feel like you've repeated some kind of a pattern, or there may have been some circumstance that has made you feel down about yourself, or it may have made you even feel like you're going backwards in some capacity. But the truth of your situation is that through the challenges that you're facing right now, it's important to remember that you are growing, and that the best things in life, the best rewards, the most fulfilling times of our life usually come from a time period of greater recognition of maybe where we are not happy with ourselves, maybe where we're not happy with the way a certain situation is going. And I feel like we can all struggle to see that sometimes, because it's easy to kind of fall into a fear mindset or a scarcity mindset. And we can feel our own self-esteem kind of plummeting when we feel like we've repeated some kind of a pattern, or we just feel like we aren't making progress. And so some of you might be feeling that way, like almost like your motivation or your will to kind of keep growing, keep, like there's a sense here that you're being called to a greater state of awareness and truth. You're being called to see a certain circumstance with clear eyes, and to make sure that you don't go into denial, or that you don't cope with maybe a difficult situation or a difficult truth in a way that keeps you stuck, or that you don't interpret your current challenges as something that's meant to push you back or hold you back. I'm seeing that the truth of your circumstances are, this is actually an opportunity for you to make some of the biggest growth that you have made in your life, even if it doesn't look like that right now. I'm gonna get a sip of water. And the truth of your circumstances are that you hold a key right now by being willing to see the truth of a situation, or maybe something in the past that you would have been in denial about. Maybe in the past you would have kept yourself stuck for a long time because of not wanting to face a certain situation, because of the way it maybe triggers your emotions or makes you feel. But Spirit's saying you are at a higher level of, you have grown a lot, and you have a greater capacity to turn around a current situation, or to have a breakthrough where you see the light at the end of the tunnel, where you regain your momentum and you regain your sense of passion or motivation to go on. And I feel like some of you might be questioning right now, like, am I ever gonna feel successful? Am I ever gonna feel like things are just flowing, like they're easy? Or, because with the Jupiter return benefits, that talks about a time period where things start to flow easier, where you feel like you're getting green lights instead of red lights, where you're in a mindset of optimism, openness to receive blessings and to receive opportunities. And so I feel like the truth of your situation is that you may be coming out of a time where it didn't feel easy to feel abundant, or it didn't feel easy to trust that your circumstances are going to improve, or your love life is going to improve, whatever it is. But Spirit's reminding you that all of the frustration, all of the challenges are here for your growth. And it can kind of sound frustrating, but I think it is really helpful to shift our mindset. So instead of kind of going into self-sabotaging energy when we feel like, let's say we it's like our mindset can start feeling like we should just give up, or we're not meant for the success that we want, that we're not meant for the blessings, that, you know, we can kind of fall into this energy of self-pity or victimhood, but not even in a way where it's like, you might even be blaming yourself. It's not to say that you're blaming someone else or something else. For a lot of you, I think you guys might be struggling with this energy of blaming yourself for what you're going through. But I feel like what could shift this situation a lot is if you're willing to see the truth of this situation, even if it's challenging, even if it's triggering for your emotions, and to recognize that you have a greater capacity than you realize to hold space for, to hold compassion for yourself, and to come out of a mindset where I heard when I was pulling your cards, like, just keep swimming. And also I'm hearing that song where it says, why in the world would you kick me when I'm down, yeah, so I feel like some of you might just be feeling down, or feeling like you're losing a sense of purpose, or you're starting to lose your confidence or your inspiration. And I feel like Spirit's saying that the way you're going to refine that inspiration and that will to keep fighting another day is not through being hard on yourself and succumbing to the challenges. It's that realizing these challenges are an opportunity for you to do something different this time, for you to learn something, for you to act in a way, for you to shift your mindset in a way that maybe you weren't able to in the past. And Spirit is encouraging you to take things at face value, to not catastrophize or believe that certain obstacles or mistakes that you've made are worse than they are. I feel like Spirit wants to remind you more than anything that there's so much love for you, and there's so much forgiveness and compassion that the world has for you. And it can be hard for us to connect with that if we're not having that compassion and forgiveness and self-acceptance for where we're at, and maybe even how we're struggling. And so I feel like what would really help your current situation is to say statements like, instead of like, oh, I'm a failure, or I never do the right thing, it could be, I made a mistake, but I know I can learn from it. You know, it's like there's a way to acknowledge the truth of things, and it's okay, it's good to process those emotions that come with it. But then the next step, I feel, is to give yourself grace and give yourself permission to struggle, permission to sometimes not feel like your best, or to sometimes feel like it's okay to sometimes feel like you are in the wrong, or that there's something wrong with you or something like that. Like that's such a normal experience to have, but I feel like our mindset can just really spiral downwards very easily. So the truth of your situation is there's a lot of blessings ahead for you, but I feel like what's in between you and them is a need to shift your perspective on your current circumstances, and to have willingness to face difficult truths while holding compassion for yourself. Like, I feel like that is the key to this situation, is to try to not let the storms, to not let difficulties or backward steps cause you to lose faith in yourself and in the journey. Because I feel like every person who is successful or has reached some level of abundance also goes through this, also goes through temporary time periods where they just feel like hope is lost, or they just feel like they can't win, or that they, despite like a sense of self-hatred and a sense of despair in the face of difficulties. But I feel like it's important to remind yourself that every person that has gone to a level of abundance has had to contend with their own mistakes, has had to contend with making the same mistakes over and over, feeling like they're going backwards, feeling like they just can't win. But it's how you respond to that. It's how you reframe it. And it's how you persist and just keep going, just keep swimming, just keep persisting, and reminding yourself it's okay if it feels hard. It's okay if sometimes you can't hold compassion for yourself. But it doesn't mean that because something's happened where maybe you took a step backwards or some situation didn't turn out the way you expected, it's important to not completely give up or to completely come to the conclusion that it's just not meant for you, or like happiness is not meant for you, abundance isn't meant for you, or like even a sense that maybe the universe doesn't want you to win, or a sense that you're cursed or something like that. And I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna get a sip of water. I'm very thirsty. I feel like with this back card we have on the back of the deck is a reminder to come out of the darkness and to remember that there's always rebirth and growth possible if you keep following the light. And the snake is underneath that with the sea serpent here. I'm just getting this energy of you have so much potential, and I feel like the way you talk to yourself is something that is not fair to you. It's something that doesn't really represent what's possible for you or what's to come. And the new pearl is all about how from a single grain of sand, through irritation, through challenges, it turns into the pearl. And that's you guys. You guys are meant to be this pearl, but every pearl that you've ever seen has had to start from sand. And it's had to go through a lot of humility and acceptance. It's a talent, it's a skill to be able to be accountable, to see the truth of a situation, even if it's really hard to accept or to hold space for, even if it makes us feel really depressed or sad or hopeless. It's like starting to have compassion for those feelings, starting to remember that that's normal and that's okay, and it isn't actually a representation of who you're meant to be and what you can be. You have so much potential is the feeling that I'm getting. And sometimes I feel like when we have a time period of lower self-esteem, it can be really hard for us to stay present and to see things for what they are and not make it worse. Because I feel like sometimes when we're in a downward spiral, it's like negative thing after negative thing. It's like our whole perception becomes closed off and it just becomes kind of self-defeating. And so I think the truth of your situation is it's an opportunity to learn to hold yourself as you go through these emotions, as you go through ups and downs, and to recognize that all of the emotions you have are valid and you deserve some grace. You deserve some forgiveness. And things aren't as bad as you might be telling yourself they are, is what I'm getting. It's not to undermine your experience. It's just to make you feel better. So if there's a situation in your life where you just feel like you're really beating yourself up about it, I feel like Spirit's saying, like with the Chariot here, the Chariot is all about a sense of willpower, a sense of victory. It's about a motivational force where we keep our eyes on the prize despite what challenges come at us. It's all about maintaining balance to achieve our goals. It's not about never having any obstacles and being successful. Like the Chariot is a card of perseverance, self-will, the courage to go on, the courage to fight for your victory because you know you can get there despite how many times you have to rebalance yourself. It's like the Chariot card upright is this sense of moving forward anyways. Maybe one of your wheels starts going in a different direction, but the Chariot is all about bringing it back into balance and doing what you have to do to just keep moving forward. And I feel like that's the message for you here, is that you might be learning lessons around the Chariot right now, learning lessons of how much your own mindset, like how doubting your own power is going to be a huge factor as to whether or not you see positive changes. And it's about not seeing challenges, not seeing mistakes or setbacks as a sign we should not keep going, as a sign that it's not meant for us, right? Or like just sensing that something isn't, like losing our spark, losing our magic. I feel like it's almost like the flame here. Imagine that the flame is on the Chariot and like wind starts blowing this way. And it's like, it's about, no matter how much wind is trying to blow out your flame, like remembering that there's like some essential part of yourself that nothing can knock down. No matter how much we've perceived that we've made mistakes, no matter how much people have thrown negativity towards us, no matter what circumstance, even self-inflicted or outwardly inflicted, we can still protect this essential motivation to keep moving forward and to keep remembering your why and to remember that you deserve it. And I think that's the situation, is you're learning a lesson on how to keep going, how to hold acceptance for the fact that we all get blown off of our path. We all get discouraged, but the difference between a person that makes it is whether or not they can just, like, I'm seeing, like, let's say wind is blowing, it's like it's about protecting that internal flame that you have. And it's almost like if you are willing to hold that flame and protect it while you're going through ups and downs, it's not going to go out despite how much wind was blowing. But if we feel wind blowing and we're like, well, what's even the point? And we don't protect the flame, then the flame goes out. And so it's about realizing that there is potential to persevere. There is a way forward. And nothing really has the power to take away our hands around. If we want to protect the flame, we can, no matter how difficult things get. But it's a choice in self. It might require a shift in the way that you see things. But I feel like the truth is, this is what you're learning here, and Spirit wants you to keep holding your hands up around this flame and realize that no matter how difficult the wind is blowing externally, you always have the power within to keep going and wait, and to get to a place where there's no wind blowing, right? And I feel like that's like the Jupiter return, where it's easy to keep the flame alight. And it's like, imagine that difficult things are like things that are discouraging, things that feel like setbacks, mistakes, things that make us feel a sense of shame or a sense of guilt or a sense of I'm not worth it. That's like the wind. But I feel like situations where people show us love, where we find success in a way, where it's like a moment of a glimmer. It's like triggers versus glimmers, is remembering that those glimmers are still going to come, where your flame can grow bigger and bigger. And it's like the bigger your flame is, the harder it is for someone to blow it out. But no matter how small your flame is, it can always grow brighter through different circumstances. And you can always protect that essential sense of self-worth, that essential belief that I am worthy of love. I am worthy of what I want. I'm worthy of healing. I'm worthy of progress. And I remember that I'm loved despite what mistakes I've made, despite how other people have treated me, you know? And that's where the flame grows bigger. And imagine that every single time you get through one of these windy time periods, it's like the flame gets bigger from that. And so never forget how much is also in the universe that could make your flame bigger, that could make you feel even more unstoppable, more confident, more self-love. And so I'm seeing that that's the truth of the current circumstances. Let's get some tarot though. And I like that this is the LightSeer Tarot because it's like seeing the light even when there's dark. And this is the light in the dark, the flame. And that's what you are if you want to be. And I feel like even if your flame does go out, another person can relight your flame. But remembering that how big your flame gets, the bigger your flame gets, and like, let's say that's self-love, self-forgiveness, giving yourself grace. That's how it gets bigger. And it's like, then you're going to attract more things that are going to increase your flame. And even when things do happen wrong, it's not going to be as easy for it to go out. And so I just feel like this is like a situation of remembering that there's always potential to keep growing your flame, keep growing your purpose, your motivation, your sense of worthiness, despite how many times the flame has gone out. And it's worth learning how to protect the flame. And it's like not giving up to defeat, not doubting that you can do it. It's like even when you feel like you can't do it, you can still have compassion for those feelings. And in its own way, that is perseverance. Also, we are, for the extended reading, going to be looking at what is the truth of your love life. So for those of you that are wanting a message more specific to your current love situation, that's what we're going to go in depth with the extended. So I'll have that linked down below underneath the timestamps. Okay, so what is the truth of pile number 3's current circumstances? Yeah, we have strength. I love that strength comes out here because strength is, this is a reading about strength, essentially. It's a reading about how can we respond to fear. It's not that we don't have fear. It's that we learn how to have compassion for ourselves. We learn how to be gentle with ourselves and others despite there being fear. And it's about not letting our fears be where we start to react and act from towards ourselves, towards other people. So this is a test of strength. This is a test of you're building up this muscle to be able to tame the lion within, to be able to maintain gentleness in spite of fear. What else? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. And this is Jupiter energy as well. So I'm just seeing here that it's like this message that there's always going to be fluctuations in our environment, but what we can start to feel dependable within is our own response to it. And it's also about remembering that things can always shift for the better as well, especially for some of you that feel like the universe has kind of been against you or you feel like you can't get a break. It's remembering that everything will turn around, but also remembering that if things start going down, it doesn't mean they're going to stay like that forever. It's just a natural part of life. What else for pile number 3? Yeah, we have the Ace of Wands and finding that spark again. There's so much here about finding your passion, preserving your passion. Yeah, it's like I'm hearing I'm only one call away. I'll be here to save the day. Superman's got nothing on me. I don't even know the main part of that, but I'm just getting that. Remember that you're going to find your spark again. And it's like all you need is just a flame. And remember, you're going to get your spark back if some of you feel like you've lost it. Yeah, we have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is all about a sense of defeat and feeling like it can be about self-sabotage, and it's like this energy where we forget about abundance. We start letting our fears rule how we act towards ourselves and others. And it's having the strength to come out of a place where we feel so defeated. It's like there's fears that can start to cause conclusions that we are not worthy, that we've lost. There's a sense of defeat. But Spirit wants to remind you, no matter how many times you feel defeated, you have the potential to grow your strength and to not fall into a spiral of a self-fulfilling prophecy. What else for pile number 3? We have death and rebirth. What else? Okay. We have the Tower and then the Page of Swords, and then we have the Six of Wands. Yeah, a lot of this is about your confidence and remembering that you deserve to be recognized for the value you bring to others. It's important to remember that you do bring value to others. There's reasons to feel proud of yourself. But I'm also getting here that with the Tower, Spirit's saying that Tower moments are very difficult when something that we thought was going to go a different way falls apart, or some sort of shocking change happens. And it can be really easy from that Tower moment, to fall into a feeling of discouragement to keep growing. But with the Page of Swords here, Spirit's saying this is an opportunity to learn about it's usually when a Tower moment happens, it's because there was something that was false. There was some way that we were building that in a way that wasn't really true to ourselves. And I'm seeing here that no matter what's fallen apart for you, no matter what's gone wrong, it's always an opportunity to learn and to find a new approach and to grow stronger. And I feel like Spirit's saying, don't forget you'll have a rebirth. Even if you feel like certain things are falling apart or you're really being tested, I feel like Spirit's saying, remember that with every death comes a rebirth. With every difficult situation, it comes with a silver lining. It comes with the potential to refine your purpose, as long as you're willing to reconnect with, because the wand suit is all about spirituality. It's about our connection to our passions, our creativity, and our purpose. Spirit's reminding you that if something's fallen apart, there's a reason for that. And it's not because you're supposed to stay down or doubt yourself now. It's just that maybe a new opportunity or a different situation is what was going to serve you more, or this needed to happen in order for you to find a new sense of direction that's actually going to serve you more. And so the truth is that whatever is going wrong right now, whatever has gone wrong, remind yourself that you're strong enough to get through these fluctuations. And there's going to be a new day. There's going to be a new spark, a new reason to keep pushing. And the mindset of, because certain things have gone wrong, because I've made mistakes, because of that, it doesn't mean that I shouldn't keep trying. I shouldn't keep learning. You know, it's nothing ever happens to us because the universe wants us to fail. It usually happens because there's a lesson to learn. There is something to gain. And it's not to say that everything is like that. Like, there are definitely real situations where we are victims to something. But I feel like it's about changing the narrative of, from I'm a victim and bad things happen to me, to I'm a survivor. Bad things happen to me, but I keep going anyways. Like, I'm a survivor. So it's not to invalidate what's gone wrong, or it's not to, especially if something's done you wrong, a person's done you wrong, whatever it is, you've been treated unfairly. It's that you can always choose to be a survivor and to reframe it that way. And it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it easy, but it does preserve your sense of self and remind you that situations and circumstances that have hurt us can only degrade an essential part of who we are if we see it that way. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 3. I hope this was helpful for you. Sending you guys lots of love and a big hug. You guys will get through this time period, and it's important to not forget who you are and your why and your purpose. You still have a purpose and you're still important. So if you guys want to check out the extended to see your love situation, the truth of it, that is where I'm going to head now. If you guys found this helpful, if you're able to hit the like button or leave a comment, it does really help give me some feedback. So I appreciate everyone who does that. And if you want to see more readings from this channel, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. But other than that, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope to connect with you again sometime soon.